Hello dear friends, how are you doing? So that we and you can have a sense of fame on YouTube, we ask you to subscribe to our channel and give as many likes as possible to this video. An important note, in our release there are also those players who provided many decent performances, but became famous all over the world precisely due to one specific match or goal. Enjoy watching. Newcastle midfielder Tiote has never been a top-notch player. He was indeed considered a tough fighter on the pitch and was called up to the Côte d'Ivoire national team from time to time. But nothing more. And yet this guy has one amazing match in which he played a defining role. The game took place on the 5th of February 2011. Newcastle hosted Arsenal and were losing 4-0 in the first half. In just 26 minutes, Arsene Wenger's team smashed the Magpies, and it seemed they didn't leave any chances to even salvage a draw. But what happened after the break was a pure shock. Newcastle got 3 goals back and tried with all their might to grab at least 1 point. In the 87th minute, the ball flew to Tiote, and he struck a magnificent long-range shot into the corner of the net with a volley. 4-4, draw for the Magpies. The stadium went ecstatic, and Cheick simply couldn't believe what he had done in front of 52,000 fans. It was no doubt the highlight of his career. To our great regret, on 5th of June 2017, Tiote died of a heart attack at the training session of the Chinese club Beijing Enterprise. He was only 30 years old. The entire football world mourned the Ivorian, but his goal against Arsenal will never be forgotten. We believe that Cheick is now in the best place. Rest in peace. Federico Macheda is a graduate of the Lazio Academy and once was one of the favourites of Sir Alex Ferguson. In Italy, it was believed that this guy is one of the most gifted footballers of his age, so when turning 17 he signed an adult contract with Manchester United, although Italian clubs were very outraged by how pertly the British took Federico away from them. The Italians' finest hour came in the 2008-2009 season. On the 5th of April, Manchester United were playing Aston Villa and were losing 2-1. Cristiano Ronaldo equalised in the 80th minute, but the Red Devils lacked one more accurate shot to win. It was a subbed-on Federico in stoppage time who struck a gorgeous shot and brought the Mancunians 3 points. The coolest goal, scored at such a vital time, should have made the Italian striker a real star. But things turned out quite differently. Injuries at a young age prevented Macheda from realising his full potential. He went on loan to Sampdoria, then went to perform for Queen's Park Rangers, Stuttgart, Birmingham City, Novara and many other teams. Nothing worked. Federico hasn't found his place and is now defending the colours of Greek Panathinaikos. However, if not for that goal against Aston Villa, we would hardly even know about this guy. So we have to admit that at some time, his name was on everyone's lips. The career of Greek striker Angelos Charisteas had a very promising start. He performed well at home playing for Aris, and was aiming for success in one of the top European championships. But in fact, things were quite different for Charisteas. In 2002 he moved to Werder Bremen, and in 2004 even won the German championship. But still didn't stay in the team for long and moved on to Ajax. Later on there were transfers to Feyenoord, Nuremberg, Bayer, Arle, Schalke, Panathinaikos, Al-Nassr, but in any of these places Angelos scored very rarely. But in the Greek national team, Charisteas was the first choice for the position of central striker for 10 years, from 2001 to 2011. The place was basically trusted only to him. The striker's main success is dated on the 4th of July 2004 in the UEFA Euro 2004 final. The Greeks faced the more stellar and powerful Portugal national team, and in the 57th minute, Charisteas scored a fairly simple but incredibly important goal for his country. Since then, Angelos, despite his outstanding club career, has forever been inscribed in the history of Greek football. Divock has been in Liverpool for over 7 years, But during this time, the Belgian has almost always remained an extremely inconspicuous player in the English team. Although high hopes were pinned on the player, he rarely showed a good form, and therefore went on loan to other clubs to prove himself here and there. However, during the 2018-19 season, Divock completely changed his image just in one match. Yes, friends, we are of course talking about the unforgettable second leg between Liverpool and Barcelona in the Champions League 2 years ago. As you know, the Merseysiders lost the first match at the Camp Nou with a score of 3-0, so there was almost no chance of a miracle in the second leg. But it was Origi's goal that began the great defeat of the Catalans. Divock opened the score in the 7th minute of the match, and in the 79th minute he slotted home the winning 4th goal after a phenomenal corner kick performed by Trent Alexander-Arnold. After the matter, Liverpool reached the final and beat Tottenham 2-0. The second and decisive shot was provided by none other than Origi. The Belgian scored some super important goals that season, but it was the brace against Barcelona that automatically turned the lad into a favourite of the Liverpool public. Today, any Liverpool fan will tell you that this guy is a real hero. By the age of 33, Eder, the giant of a striker, had managed to play in his native Portugal, France, England and Russia, but he was not really remembered in any of those places. His best season came in 2012 and 2013, when the forward played for Braga and netted 13 goals in 18 appearances. The numbers only went down from there. Eder moved to Swansea and hadn't scored in 15 games. In Lille, he spent 2 more seasons and delivered only 12 goals. Now he plays for Moscow Lokomotiv, having scored only 15 goals in 113 appearances. So what made Eder famous? Well, you yourself know. The main match of this guy's career took place on July 10, 2016 at the Stade de France. Following that year, the Portuguese national team unexpectedly reached the final of the Euro 2016 tournament, where they faced tournament hosts France. For most of the match, Didier Deschamps' team dominated, but in the 109th minute, Eder took the ball, moved to the centre and shot hard into the bottom corner of Hugo Lloris's net. It was the accurate shot that turned out to be the only goal in the final and brought the Portuguese their first ever victory at the European Championships. Eder's name will be remembered forever. Friends, our release has come to an end. Thank you for watching and be sure to support our